China is promoting its digital currency, while other countries like the U.S. continue to explore the idea, a process undertaken here by Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Katten Muchin Rosamond Special Counsel Gary DeWall, who chairs the firm's financial markets and regulation practice, sees the creation of a digital dollar as inevitable.
It's not a question of if it's going to happen, no matter what Chairman Powell or Treasury Secretary Yellen say. It's a question of when.
DeWall says it will be just electronic money that acts like cash or a central bank deposit and is backed by the Fed.
It's money in another form. It's not meant to replace the cash. It's not meant to replace anything. It's just money in another form that can be used in a very convenient way and that functions just like every other fiat currency unit that you use.
The first issue is determining how this could work. Melissa Bender is a partner in the asset management group at Ropes & Gray.
When folks talk about a digital dollar, on the one hand, they may be describing, essentially something that is a ledger-based system, right, where there's an electronic ledger where you're tracking additions or deductions from an account. Or alternatively, a digital dollar could be in the form of a digital token, which might be similar to a Bitcoin or other digital currency, where you're actually tracking the transfer of a digital token between individuals.
The ledger system could be an extension of how banks currently exchange funds, while the token-based system could eliminate banks entirely. Lawyers say the main benefit of either system would be a faster transfer of money.
Well, for example, let's talk about COVID relief. Imagine if the Congress had passed the COVID relief, the president had signed it, literally within minutes, you could have had your money. It would allow for direct distribution by the government to you immediately.
Digital currency could also help those without bank accounts avoid costly fees from check cashing stores to gain access to their money, while a blockchain-based system could allow money transfers to be programmed to occur, for example, the moment a home sale closed. To establish a digital dollar, the Fed has to determine whether it has the authority to issue the currency. Chairman Powell has indicated he thinks Congress may need to approve this.
Then the most important thing is the currency isn't going to work unless it has finality. If I give you a digital dollar and you don't believe that it has any validity, that it's not very helpful, then you're not going to accept it. So what does that mean? That means a contract law is going to have to be examined. That's sort of a state level thing to make sure that the use of the digital dollar is consistent with contract law, commercial law. All these things have to be double checked to make sure that it's consistent.
There are also privacy concerns, as what you do with the money could be tracked.
The question of who's actually going to have access to and understand the way your dollars are spent, I think it's just one of the big questions.
Of course, as with any technology, the system could malfunction.
What happens if the system goes down? What happens if there's fraud? What happens if there's hacking? Who's going to have the liability? These kind of issues are going to have to be dealt with.
The Federal Reserve is working with MIT to come up with the next steps in the process. DeWall expects an update later this year. For Reuters Legal News, I'm Alex Cohen.